with us today, we have the co-highest ranking member of the party currently on the show, according to Society. We have the furthest traveling participant in the Cranberry Bowl. We have our esteemed guest, Rachel Haydell.
Most of us are.
Rachel, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. Happy to be here.
Non-relative Rachel Haydell, I must add.
Right.
Yeah, because there is...
Well, she is someone's relative.
She is someone's relative. That's absolutely right. We do have a cousin, Rachel, who is allegedly still deciding whether or not she wants to play. But this is the non-relative Rachel, just for clarity, I guess. Rachel, you're doing well?
I'm doing well. Thanks for asking.
Okay, so I got a question for you. You were slated a couple of years ago. You were slated to come and play in the Cranberry Bowl. One thing led to another, and it didn't quite work out. You weren't able to make it.
Yeah.
What are you most excited for? What is your I guess maybe your most excited for thing, or maybe a couple of things that you're most excited for?
Yeah, I'm excited to see everyone, I think. Living far away, I live in Virginia, so it'll be nice to see everyone, and yeah, just looking for some healthy competition.
Gotcha. Have you been training at all? Have you done anything particular to ready yourself for this healthy competition that you speak of?
Absolutely. Let's see. So I have actually been training for a 10K. Might seem small, might seem like a big thing for most people, or some people, but so yeah, I've been running quite often. Been watching LSU football every weekend, so taking notes and.
Well, if you're watching LSU football, you might not want to be taking notes.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
Well,
actually.
I think she's probably taking notes of the other teams, to be honest.
Or taking notes of what not to do.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. And what else you said? Oh, you're training for a 10K. So you're probably going for like most in shape. That's like the thing you're going for. You're going for like try to blow us out of the water with speed, agility, stuff like that.
I'm going for like endurance, and for speed. Be able to pick up my pace,
Gotcha. And we talked about you're the furthest traveling participant, I think. I mean, by my reckoning, who knows? We may have a guest appearance from some. We always have non-relatives or whoever it may be who kind of show up out of nowhere and wind up playing. But as far as we know, you're going to be the furthest traveling participant, really in 3 dimensions. I might add. You're probably latitudinally, longitudinally, you're probably traveling the furthest, and then also up here in Virginia, we're probably like 250 feet above sea level. That's probably higher than most of our relatives. Maybe not Adam. Maybe Adam is. We may have to get Adam on the show, see if we can see how high of a height he's coming from. But yeah. What do you think? Do you think the altitude?
But she would be the highest girl cousin if she was a cousin.
Oh,
I think she would win that competition if she was a cousin. Luckily, she doesn't qualify, so the question is still, up for grabs.
Well, in reality,
because that would just
complicate. In reality, Timmy said it earlier. She really is a cousin. Maybe not of us, but she's someone's cousin.
Oh yeah, okay. That would complicate things if we open it up to everyone who's related to it.
Right.
But we could do it.
Well, just anyone who's a cousin. I mean, let's not just say any relation.
Yeah. All the fortunate.
How do you think the altitude is going to help you in the game? Do you think like coming back to sea level, you'll be like, looking down at all of us punitive sea level dwellers and
below sea level dwellers?
Right. Yeah. Some of us even.
Well, actually, isn't it true that higher altitude, there's the oxygen levels are a little bit lower, so then go back down to lower altitudes and you're like kind of a superhuman? Yeah, right? Yeah, so.
I've heard of that, I think that makes sense.
Yeah, so, that's why I train up here, and then I'm living in Virginia to just kind of gain some of that superhuman, and then I fly down and
got it. So really you're here to get a leg up on the competition.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, got it.
Wow, that's a good strategy.
Yeah, well, we'll see. I mean, it's my first time, so, I'm excited to see what happens. It might work. It might not help. I don't know.
Yeah.
How many legs up on the competition do you think you'll have?
Man, that's hard to say. So we have the altitude. That's one. Been running a lot, so maybe that's something.
How many legs do you think the altitude accounts for? Just one?
Yeah.
Or do you think maybe 1.5, maybe 2?
I think just one.
Okay. Left or right?
Right.
Okay.
Oh wow, yeah, that's a big deal.
Well, for some creatures, 2 legs up is equivalent to 2 legs down. Like for instance, if
2 legs in a pod, as they say.
2 legs for the gander is good for the bush. But no, but I mean, like if I tried earlier to put both of my legs up, and I ended up with both of them on the ground. Like it's a thing. It was called sitting down on the ground, but
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, but birds can do that. And then like if you're a centipede or something, you can have 50 legs in the air at a time. So it depends.
Right.
It depends. Just
That's
I
a
guess be
point.
careful. I guess with when making analogies, how many legs up on the competition you want to have. Just make sure that the analogy has a good zoological base, in which there could be
Right.
a multiplicity of legs off of the air, whether by flight or by just a multiplicity of legs.
Yeah, and I wonder too, when you talk about legs up, what kind of legs, right? Because you got to think that a human leg is probably worth a lot more than, say, a mosquito leg or a seagull
Yeah.
leg or something like that.
Well, that was my next question. When you asked me a leg or a leg and a half, I was like, well, what are we talking about here?
Yeah. Well, I guess really it's up to
Oh,
you. What
That's
in
true.
your mind? What is the gauge or the scale? I guess
Yeah. I guess the altitude will say 1 human leg. How about that?
1 human leg. Wow.
Right. Oh yeah.
That's pretty
That's
lucky
valuable.
that it's like a very exact number of something so relatable as a human leg.
Yeah, that's what I'm going for.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now is that
Cool.
metric leg or like the other unit's leg for
Like
the
U.S.
normal-
customary.
Yeah. Because she's running a 10K. I'm thinking that's like, but we measure the football field in yards or in approximated yards. So I'm just wondering,
Right.
because it could, I mean, running 10K might give you a leg up, but when you change it to like a American standard units leg, then she might like think that she's running 10 yards and she's only gone 10 meters. And meters
Right.
are
Well, and the other
smaller.
thing is, if you have 1 metric human leg up on the competition, really when you convert that to U.S. customary, that's like what, maybe a fifth of a leg. Maybe you're like halfway down the thigh. I don't know. So really, is that? I wouldn't even know if that's
Maybe.
really that much
I
more.
don't know. I don't know. What
I don't know how much leg up that is.
I mean, what's the conversion of dollars to euros? Because I feel like that will be the same ratio of English leg to American.
That's a good
leg.
point.
Some research for our listeners,
It is all about height. We've said it before on the show. It's all about height. So.
except for when it's not at all about height. But, yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean that. So when playing tennis or table tennis, but this is football.
Right. All right. So let's see. Looks like $1 is the same as an 0.86 of a euro. So I guess
Oh wow.
there's an 86
They're beating us.
percentage.
Okay, so
there.
maybe kilometers are longer than miles then, right now,
Yeah.
and meters are longer than yards.
Right.
Okay,
That is also true.
got it. And the president has to do whatever the queen says.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah. Well, at
Okay.
least 86% of what the queen says.
Oh, good. Okay, that makes I can sleep at night. That's good.
Good.
Yeah. So Rachel, I know you're, I think, doing psychology or psychrometry, something with the psi in the front of it, if my memory serves. So, what, in your professional opinion, what kind of effects, what kind of mental strain are these athletes going through? What kind of effects do you think the game has on the athletes in terms of mental effects?
That's a great question, Timmy. So just to clarify, it's psychology. If anyone was, curious.
And so, real quick, let me interject. Your master's currently is in psychology,
Correct.
and you are now also going to be receiving a doctorate in psychology.
Well, I hope so.
Well, eventually, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully, eventually.
Hopefully in about 2.5 years.
Got it. More of a would you say it's more of a potentiality or an eventuality?
Potentiality.
Oh, wow.
Wait.
Okay.
Oh, wait.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you're not sure that you're going to be receiving this doctorate.
I mean, I'm like 95% sure, but you never know. You know?
So better than euro to dollar, I would say.
Better than you. I would
that's a
say
good
it's better
conversion.
than euro to dollar. For
Okay,
sure.
so I would say that's pretty good.
Higher than 86%.
So I would say that's probably more of an eventuality than a potentiality.
Okay. Yeah.
Under my analysis.
It's the probability that it's an eventuality.
Yeah, there you go.
There we go. Okay. Yeah. That's a good way to put it.
Anyway,
Well, then, when you get a doctorate, you will be the highest ranking, according to society, player in the Cranberry Bowl, unless someone else gets a doctorate in 2.5 years.
that's true. She will also be the highest ranking member of this particular radio show as well.
Oh yeah.
Let's just
That's
hope I
right.
get there.
Yeah. Otherwise, you'll always just be the co-highest ranking member, according to society.
According to society.
Anyway, Timmy asked a question.
Yeah.
So let's hear the answer.
Yeah, so what kind of mental strain are they going through? It's a great question because it's definitely a mental game, right? I feel like.
Let me interject one more time. I'm pretty impressed that you were able to remember the question because I certainly did not.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was some good mental acrobatics
that's my
there.
job, Nate. I have to remember things from 20, 30 minutes ago and bring it back up.
Okay.
So yeah, definitely going through some mental strain. There's the competitive part that right can get you worked up.
Yeah.
There's also just when you're physically tired, you might your mind might start thinking about taking a break or getting some water or eating something, so you have to fight that off sometimes.
Wait, your mind can eat something? Is that what you said?
Your mind might think about eating
But it
something.
won't actually do it.
No,
It'll
no,
just-
no, the mind won't.
But the mind can
Well,
chew
why
on
not?
things,
Yeah.
right? Can't you, you're chewing on something, you're thinking
Yeah,
about it.
yeah, in a way, yeah.
So I wonder if the mind can chew on stuff. I wonder maybe it could eat something.
That's a good question. We haven't studied that yet. If we
Oh, but you'll get back to us if.
But I'll definitely follow up if I hear anything.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely sports are a mental game sometimes. You gotta stay positive. You gotta persevere.
Mm-hmm.
Even when you're tired, you have to set your mind to it,
Yeah.
That's hard. It's hard, especially, when you've been playing for a while. If you've been running around, you're getting tired.
Yeah.
You gotta fight it off. So it can get really hard.
And it sounds like you speak from experience. Have you played any sports, I guess, competitively in your lifetime?
Yeah, let's see. In high school, that's the most recent, I would say.
That's pretty good. High school
I-
sports, that's like, maybe 1 or 2 ranks below the Cranberry Bowl, but that's very decent training, I would say.
Let's see. So I did track, and I played tennis.
What'd you run in track?
Let's see. In track, I did the 4x1. I think that's right. 4x2 relay for the 100, the 200, and I did the 100-meter dash. Actually.
Oh, so you're like fast.
I did. Yeah. So I was more of a speed. I did like the short. Yeah.
Got it.
speed
So you're
versus-
going for all around then, because you are speedy, and also now you are going for 10K, which is as we alluded to earlier, that's longer than 10 miles, which that's a pretty decent run there, I would say.
Yeah, that's true. I was never really the long distance runner in high school, but I always wanted to be. So now's my time to
Time to shine.
live
Live up to your dreams.
Yeah, to stretch out that long distance endurance, and so yeah, I did do track. I did the triple jump as well.
What about ball sports? Did you say tennis? Yeah, you did tennis. Okay.
I did do tennis. I had to play softball too. That was more for fun though. So that's wasn't really competitive, but tennis definitely I can relate to the mental game. Matches take like take over an hour for sure. They take a while, hour and a half. One time I remember being in the finals for like the regional finals or something, and yeah, it took a couple hours in the heat of the day. So definitely a lot of mental energy to stay focused and to persevere. So it can be tough.
Did you ever beat anybody up?
Wait, what did you ask?
Did you ever beat anybody up? Like get into a fight or something like that?
Oh, no.
Oh, okay. So that'll be something new to you, this Cranberry Bowl. I
Oh,
guess.
okay.
Yeah, Rachel, a quick follow-up to the question I just asked. The
Yeah.
steel drum, what are your thoughts?
The steel drum, as in like a drum.
The steel drum. Yeah.
Steel drum, from
Is there like a
Hailing
particular
from the-
thing that you're referencing?
well,
or-
the steel drum.
What are my thoughts? Yeah, all for it.
Okay, great.
That's what she's all about. The steel drum. Heard that. There's also a hang drum, which is similar to a steel drum in build, but it goes by a different name, and it might actually hang. I haven't looked into this. I've just heard word on the street. So, stay tuned.
Yeah, definitely keep me updated on that for sure.
Yeah, we would love to hear your thoughts once we find out if it hangs or not.
Yeah. Please
Yeah.
let me know.
That's right.
Okay.
Well, I was wondering whether they measure time in, like, whether there's 10 hours in a day in England, for example, and then 10 seconds in a minute and 10 minutes in an hour. But then I thought about it and I thought, I won't ask that. We're getting off topic. That's a bit tangential. Are there 10 sides to a square? We would go down that rabbit hole and we would just never come out.
Yeah, maybe the orbitals of the atoms in England or something are, they've got 10 electrons per orbital instead of, the 2, 6, 10, 14 or whatever it is. 8, 2, 6, 8, 14, I think.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think about that. Yeah. Well, that's part of the reason why like imported tea is not as good here, because like when it comes from England to America, it's actually only 0.86% as good. And no, it's 86%. It's 0.86 times as good as it was in England, because the molecular structure changes because our atoms are actually 0.86 times the size of a
Gotcha.
British atom. I'm thinking.
Gotcha.
That's my theory.
Okay.
I do want to say that that as far as all the Hoffpowers that I've heard have said, are big fans of Rachel Haydell. Definitely, a positive reviews from our corner of the farm. But where was I going with that? And I really love what you said about the just looking forward to getting together. Seeing people, some healthy competition. I really think that encapsulates a lot of the spirit of the Cranberry Bowl. I appreciated that. So just wanted to say that.
Oh,
Okay.
thank you. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
So Rachel, I you talked about, like Matt just said, you're looking forward to seeing everybody, and I guess you were probably more talking about our side of the family, right? My mom's side of the family. I'm curious, do you have any plans for Thanksgiving? That obviously they include seeing us and playing in the Cranberry Bowl, but do you have any plans for your own family, I guess?
Yeah, so let's see. I'll be flying home the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. And I'll probably go and stay with my family in Homa, most likely, and spend the Thanksgiving morning with them and have some lunch with them. It's going to be my mom's side of the family that morning. So my mom is from Baton Rouge, and her parents and she has 2 brothers, and their families are going to be driving in to visit in Homa and eat some lunch, and then after lunch we're gonna head over to Baton Rouge. So I was just I was really excited whenever Nate asked me to come to the Cranberry Bowl. I was like, absolutely, I want to be there, but I have to kind of plan it out with my own family. So I was talking to my mom and asking her, when are we having Thanksgiving? And she said, we're gonna do lunchtime like we normally do. And So I was like, okay, well, is it okay if I leave, right after lunch and head to the cranberry bowl? And she said,
Will you go? I say go. And we'll all go together to the wild mountain thyme. Over the hills and heather. Will you go? I say go.
and I said, sure, yeah. That sounds great. Thanks, Mom. Then we're gonna go. We're gonna go after we eat. Then we're gonna go to the cranberry bowl. So
Rachel, you've talked a little bit about healthy competition, this and that. What about unhealthy competition? Where do we stand on that? What if this, turns a bit hostile, as it has been known to? There's sometimes there can be scraps during the game, fights, if you will. So what if it?
So like, what would my reaction be to unhealthy competition?
Right. I mean, you say you're looking forward to healthy competition. I'm just wondering if you're also open to, how you'd react, or what you think about an unhealthy competition.
Yeah, it's a great question. I'd say I can be pretty competitive, I think.
I would say Rachel has unhealthy competition written in her DNA. That's my own personal opinion, though. So anyway, sorry, Rachel.
Oh,
I didn't mean to taint your thoughts or anything, but yeah, go ahead.
So are you suggesting that when I said healthy competition, I didn't quite mean it? It was like a...
Oh, it could have been. I hadn't thought of that.
Oh, okay.
Could have been, though. But I think you genuinely meant it.
Yeah.
Although, who am I to decide what is genuinely true, I feel like it's all kind of nebulous as to what is true and what is perceived.
Yeah, I would say that I tend to feed off of other people. So I'd say, if the competition gets a little bit unhealthy, I think I'd be okay. I think I would, I wouldn't get too upset, but I can be competitive. So, I might get me more pumped up, or it might get me,
Got it.
more driven to win. I don't think that I would become hostile. I like to, keep the peace. But also, competition's fun.
But if you start losing, you're gonna punch somebody in the face, maybe.
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't think so. So.
Oh, just like sweep the leg? Is that what it is? So like, is that what you're all about?
Yeah, the leg that's up. The leg up.
Yeah. Right. If they've got one leg up already, then
Throw or the burrito or whatever it is. It could also be a. I don't know. An idiom? Maybe, is that the right word?
Yeah. Extend the old getaway stick.
Right. Give him the old right there, Fred.
Right. Sometimes the way to keep peace is to lay a bro out, or lay out an albino. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know about me, but
or an uncle or two.
I bet you could do it. You definitely have some height on some of the albinos.
Man, I just...
And as we talk about, on this show repeatedly, height is, in the cranberry bowl, it really is everything. The fact that Rachel is definitely not the shortest participant really brings an aspect to her game that you can't really expect from some of the people that aren't quite so tall.
Wow. Yeah, that's so true. I think that's just, all over the field, around the rim. Oh, that's basketball. But still, I mean, I think that's true.
Coming as a non-relative player, I think I would lean towards, keeping the peace and...
Got it. You kind of scope out the scene.
Yeah, try not to, pick any fights, I think...
Try to feel out the...
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm a new player as well, so, don't want to start on a bad foot.
Yeah. Wrong foot forward. Even though you got it... would that be the foot that's the leg that's up, or which foot would that be?
It would be the one that's not up, so.
Okay.
So, got to keep my right foot forward.
Oh. Trying to put that one forward,
Yeah.
While the other one's up.
Yeah.
That could be hard. But we think he can do it. As Marie the Cat from Aristocats said, ladies don't start fights, but they can finish them. And I think that's a definition of peace. Yeah.
That's a good quote right there.
Peace, justice. I feel like it's all in.
Rachel, can I ask you, have you ever built a treehouse?
I personally have not.
Okay, I was just wondering.
Interesting.
Yeah, how do you think not building a treehouse is helping you with the Cranberry Bowl? I can't see how that would be a good decision to make.
Along the same
I was-
lines, I was thinking, how does that affect her draft stock? Like do we expect now that she is revealed to the world that she's never built a treehouse? What do you think she'll go early? Y'all think, Timmy? What do you think?
I think it'll be a bit of a push in the long run. I think there's some good and some bad that could go that could be perceived by the scouts for the team. I mean, some scouts may like it, but other ones might not. And I think internally it'll eventually cancel out, so it won't change their stock or her stock or whatever she wants to be classified as stock too much. Maybe down a little bit. Just because, when you think of a treehouse, it just seems like a positive thing. So not doing a positive thing initially could be perceived as a negative. But no, I don't think it'll affect too much where she goes in the draft.
Yeah, it just occurred to me that that the scouts that listen to this podcast will know that height is the only important thing in the Cranberry Bowl and in football in general, which I just remembered. So I think that's I think you might get a pass on that one. Although I do think that having built a treehouse does raise you a little bit as a member of society, and so that if either of us had built a treehouse in the past, then that one would be the highest ranking on the podcast. Both of us having masters, one of us having masters plus treehouse.
That's right.
Oh,
Because I would say that I've assisted in, I hammered nails into my friend's already built treehouse, but I don't know if that really pushes me over the line like a whole unit of social value. So I could be wrong.
Gotcha. Yeah, I guess that answers the question. The listeners have been wondering this entire interview. Who is, we talk about her being the co-highest ranking member according to society. Who is the other? And there you go, listeners. It is cousin Matt.
Our very own first overall pick in the a different draft as mentioned previously, Matthew Hoffbauer.
Yeah, well, he was second overall, but I guess first to whichever team he was on.
Right, by first overall I did mean second,
Gotcha.
just to clarify.
Yeah, that's right. I was the first one wearing overalls.
Okay, so Rachel, I'm curious. What are some, a fair bit of the relatives and participants in the Cranberry Bowl. Who are some of the ones that you're most interested in playing alongside? Who are some of the ones you're most interested in playing against? What are some traits, I guess, in a player that you would like to see on your team? So I guess that's really 3 questions. We'll start with the first. Who are some of the players that you're looking to play alongside?
Well, I don't know who's all playing. It's hard to say. I think I've enjoyed everyone in your family and getting to know them all. And let me think. So it's hard to say because I don't know who's playing. But in terms of qualities in a player, someone just who is supportive of their teammates, who is, cares about the game and is willing to put forth the effort and work hard to win. I don't know if that answers your question.
Yeah, that's pretty good. You seem to care about both sides of the game, both the humanitarian side, the people who care about others, as well as the people who care about winning. So that's pretty good too. All right, well, Timmy, do you have any final thoughts before we round out the show?
Oh, I'm looking forward to having a new face join the game, Rachel. I'm looking forward to seeing what kind of dynamic you bring. I'm curious to see how this 10K training, which is greater than 10 miles for the record, will come into play, and I think we got a good group, and it'll be a good game.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I'm looking forward.
Matt, you got any final thoughts?
Yeah, also looking forward to, certainly to your psychological expertise on the field, but as well, just the experience of having Rachel on the team, on one of the teams. I think will be an ameliorating presence for the Cranberry Bowl. It may be that we have a bit of, when we get into disputes over calls that come to fisticuffs and blows, I think even those will be a little smoother with the presence of Rachel, who is, I think that's part of who you are, and that's good. So looking forward to that. I think, it could be a fun one to watch and to participate in.
Yeah, and I guess one final thought for myself, listeners, if you are a male cousin, I guess, a male relative, doesn't have to be a cousin, could be an uncle. If you are a male relative and you are interested in singing, I urge you to contact myself, and I'll get you in front of the people who you need to be in front of to be a part of a project that we're just starting to put together. So all male listeners of the show, if you're a relative, I guess if you're a non-relative too, we could certainly interview you and see where you fit in. But give me a shout if you're looking to sing. Oh yeah, before we go, Rachel, is there anything that you would like to promote? Is there anywhere that our listeners could find you somewhere else? Do you do anything aside from school or work that you'd like to promote?
Like somewhere they could find me, or just something I'd like to promote?
Yeah, either way.
Okay. Outside of school, there's not much time for any. But I would like to promote my sister's business, Colors by Natalie. If you haven't heard of her, she sells both abstract art, Christian, Catholic art. She's got some great stuff, so I recommend that you check her out. colorsbynatalie.art, I think is her website name. I could be wrong. So if I'm wrong, we will put the right link in there. Can we do that?
We could put them in the show notes. And she is also on Instagram, so we could maybe.
Oh
link
yeah,
that as
she's
well.
on Instagram, of course. Yeah, go find her on Instagram, Colors by Natalie.
Probably Facebook too. Is that a?
Yeah, on Facebook too. Yeah.
Okay.
Facebook
She's
too.
got lots of great merch.
So there's a sequel to
She's got-
Facebook. I'm sorry, that was silly.
Yeah, no, she's got great merch, and she's got all kind of stuff. So yeah, check her out anyway. That's all.
Gotcha.
Fake book.
Facebook 2, Revenge of the Shaman, if you will.
And I will.
Fake book 2, meta, question mark?
All right, Rachel, well, we don't want to take up too much more of your time. So we appreciate you coming in, and we look forward to seeing you there.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm looking forward to it.
Cool. Timmy, any final words?
Kill the shaman.
Matt, any final words?
Well, they say while the goose may be misleading, the gander, while often untrue, is certainly revealing. So take that into considerationem, as they say in Latin.
All right, we'll see y'all.